Howdy, folks. Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer, and it is time for a gaming vlog. We're going to talk about Fallout 4. We're going to talk about Star Wars Battlefront. We're going to talk about Call of Duty Black Ops 3. We're going to talk about Sword Coast Legends, and maybe a couple of other things. We'll talk a little paper and pencil role-playing stuff too. We'll talk a little bit about that. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, to start out with, I have been playing, I was playing Sword Coast Legends like a maniac. And then Fallout 4 came out. Now I've been playing Fallout 4 like a maniac on crack. So, needless to say, I'm going to find it hard to go back to Sword Coast Legends to finish the campaign. I'm on the third act, third of 3 in that game, and so I know I definitely want to go back and finish it because I'm pretty close. But Fallout 4 is ridiculous. Yes, it has bugs. I've encountered maybe a couple. I had one where, and I'm in first-person perspective, and my weapon disappeared. And therefore, and I had no crosshair, so I had no way to aim or anything. So I had to exit and restart the game. That's only happened once, and I've played, I don't know how many hours I've played, I have no idea. But that game is, even with the minor little bugs and so forth, I haven't had any performance issues. I mean, I've got it running on Ultra, and even though it says, according to, my video card, I have a GTX 770, and now I do have 32 gigs of RAM. I am running 32 gigs of RAM in my rig, so that could be helping, but supposedly with my card, I shouldn't be able to run it on Ultra very well, and I run it on Ultra settings, no problem. I haven't been checking what my frame rate is, but I haven't noticed anything to where it would make me want to check my frame rate. It's just been playing fine. So I've had just a couple little bugs that were minor annoyances at the most. They have not reoccurred, and the quality of the content and the sheer addictiveness of that game is something I haven't had something grab hold of me that hard, a game grab hold of me that hard in a long time. Sword Coast Legends is fun. It's not a D&D game. I'll get into that, at another time. But it's not a D&D game. It's a online role playing game, and it is fun to play. I will say that. And so it does get addictive. Nothing like Fallout 4. Fallout 4, I had to force myself to go. I had to work today, of course, and so I had to force myself to go to bed last night. I was playing it, and I look up at the clock, and it's 11:30, and I'm like, how in the hell is it 11:30? I sat down at 9 o'clock. It's already been 2.5 hours. I've been playing this thing for 2.5 hours, and it felt like, I don't know, half an hour. I mean, I could have sworn it wasn't going to be past 10 o'clock when I look at the clock, and it was 11:30. And when that happens, you know that you are being immersed in whatever world it is you're trying, that you are stepping foot into. It's working. So, in any case, I can't give Fallout 4 a high enough recommendation. But that leads me into we'll segue into another topic, and that is, let's talk about the trend of the cost in video games now. And let's talk specifically about how it affects PC gamers, people that play on their computers or PCs, because 3 big titles, Fallout 4, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Star Wars Battlefront. All three of these are available for both consoles and PC. So basically they're all PC ports, meaning that they design them first for the consoles, and then they go back and try and figure out how they're going to work on the computer. Now, Fallout 4, they've done, because it's uses the same formula as Skyrim, and they did a good job on Skyrim. Everybody knows that. So therefore, they kind of had a handicap because they already had the formula down on how to make everybody happy, on all the platforms and everything. But from what I'm reading on Black Ops 3, it's horrible on PC. Now, a lot of that could be, I haven't played it. I don't have it yet. I haven't played it yet. A lot of that could just be sour grapes. People complain about a lot of things, and I mean, there's a lot of people complaining about Fallout 4 for whatever reason. They're saying, graphics this and bugs that and everything else. I mean, maybe they're encountering stuff I'm not, but in any case, so some of it may be exaggerated, but there is quite a few. If you go back and read through the reviews on Steam and everything for Black Ops 3, you'll see that there is a pretty solid theme about people having horrible performance issues, mouse lag and things like that, and that the content feels regurgitated from previous versions and so forth. And then you get into the issue of the cost of the game. Today, for the first time, I actually looked to see, and the digital deluxe edition of Black Ops 3 is $99. It's $100. $99.99. It's $100 for the game and the season pass. And we've almost come to the point where we're accepting it, because it used to be you buy the game, $40 at that time was the price point was $40. You got the game, and then they might depending on how well it sold, they might say, well, let's do an expansion later on, and they would do an expansion and it would add a whole bunch more content, but they wouldn't even start working on it, until they knew that the game was selling well enough for them to support them making an expansion. Now they're making the bare bones game, holding all this other content in the back for this season pass, and so basically you're getting instead of paying what used to be $40, then it went to $50 for a little while, and then it went to $60 for a game. But now we've gotten it to where it's $60 for the game, and then another $40 for the season pass. So now you're getting to $100 for the game. Now Fallout 4 is the same way. They've got a season pass. There isn't even going to be any other content available till next year, but people are already buying the season pass. And I bought the Pip-Boy edition, and if you saw my unboxing, that I paid $119 for the Pip-Boy edition, and I really did expect, when I bought that, I knew it was going to come with the Pip-Boy and everything, and I assumed it would be plastic or whatever. I didn't expect it to be, like an actual working Pip-Boy and metal and all that stuff. I knew it would be plastic, but I also thought for that money, I assume we would get something. Generally, when you get collector's editions, you get the soundtrack. You'll get sometimes you'll get a mouse pad with with the artwork on it. Sometimes you get different things like that. So I thought, in addition to that, for $119, I thought we would get some other stuff. We did not. So I don't think that the Pip-Boy edition was worth $119, except for those people that decided they were going to turn around and just sell them on eBay for $250 or whatever they're selling for, because people are paying a ridiculous price for them or whatever. So in that case, yeah, it's definitely worth your money because you're going to make a profit. But if you're buying it as a collector like me, I don't think it was worth $119. I've got my Pip-Boy sitting up there on top of my TV, and it's probably just going to sit there and collect dust now, because I don't know that I'd ever put it back on and put my phone in it and play with it, unless I was ever to cosplay. That would be the only other time I would do that, is take it out of there. So we're looking at these kind of prices now for games. And what that's going to do is it's going to cause people to buy less games because they're going to say, well, I got to spend $100 on Call of Duty, Black Ops 3. I can't, and I want to get Star Wars Battlefront. That's probably going to be another $100. I'm going to have to pass on these other games or whatever. So it's a changing dynamic, and as long as we keep paying it, and I say we because I paid the $119 for Fallout 4 day one. I pre-ordered it, which I generally do not do, and then I paid for Sword Coast Legends because people were asking me, to give a review and what I was thinking about it and all this, and I thought I did that one more. I could have waited, but I did it more as I need to, because I'm heavily into the role-playing games and Dungeons and Dragons and everything, and I thought I need to do that for my channel. So I bought that one. So that's two that I paid full price for, day one. And I generally don't do that. It'll probably be a while before I do that again. Star Wars Battlefront's not even on PC, and I know I won't buy that when it first comes out. I got more than enough games to play and everything. Yeah, it looks cool and all that, but there's no single-player mode. There's no campaign. It's all multiplayer and everything else like that. So I enjoy playing campaigns, single-player story mode, type of thing, and it doesn't even have one. So I will probably pass on. And Call of Duty, I have no interest of that, because if it's regurgitated just from the other previous ones, there is campaign mode on those. Of course, there is, the single-player campaign that you can go through and everything. But it looks like, again, that it's kind of more of the same and everything. So I'll probably pass on both of those. But and if they were cheaper, if they were $40 a piece for the full game, and there was none of this stupid season pass stuff, I might pick one or both of them up, but I'm not paying it. Not when I know it's going to end up. If I really like it, it's going to be $100 because I got to get the season pass. Because I'm going to get the season pass for Fallout 4. There's no question about that. No sense in doing it yet. I mean, there's not even going to be available till next year. But so I'm going to end up. Yeah, it's going to end up being a $100 investment. Well, it'll be more than it'll be $150 for me because I bought the Pip-Boy edition. So they're getting me too. I don't know. So anyway, that's kind of what I've been doing. I heavily into Fallout 4. Played Sword Coast Legends. Almost finished it. And Game of Thrones for the PC, the Telltale game. They just released the final episode for that. So I got to finish that to episode 6. I really love that game, so got to do that as well. I don't know how many of you doing that. And then in addition, of course, we're playing. Every Friday I'm doing the D&D thing here, and then doing the Pathfinder thing. And with our D&D group here, we had our last session was really good. We had a lot of fun. Our DM is doing he has a custom world that he's putting us through, and we're level 4, and we're starting to make some inroads and stuff. And we had a downtime, where we were in a city, in a tavern and all that. We decided to go to the tavern and have a little bit of fun, do some role playing and everything. And needless to say, we were drinking dwarven ale, and all this, and then some elven mead and some top notch whiskey from one of the big cities, capital cities and all that. And next thing you know, the cleric fails his saving throw. He's passed out, and ends up going. He ends up going with a winch. Or no, I'm sorry, he wasn't the one that passed out. One of them passed out. One of them went with a winch to a room. Ended up, she robbed him, took all of his gold. I went with another winch to a room, and I didn't get robbed, but my dwarf woke up with crabs. So, and that is not the first. That is the second STD that my dwarf has gotten in that game. So, he's not batting very good. His odds are not very good. So anyway, that's the kind of stuff we were doing. And then we all got scammed into and got kidnapped and ended up being made slaves on a slaver ship, and that's where we're at now. And that was an interesting night. And then we're playing again tonight. It's Friday, so we'll be playing again tonight. So and then Pathfinder game, having fun with that. We're kind of on a little break there. So anyway, that's kind of gaming wise. That's what's going on. Non-stop, always gaming. Gotta love it. All right, guys. Well, till next time, we'll catch you on the flip side.